If I asked you right now, are you rich? Your answer would almost certainly be no. Most Germans don't consider themselves wealthy, but the truth is, a lot of people watching this video are closer to rich than they realize, and some of you might already be there without even knowing it. Today I'm going straight to the numbers. How much do you need to earn, and how much do you need to own to be in Germany's top 10%, top 5%, and top 1%? These figures come from Destatis, the Bundesbank, and the IW Cologne Institute of Economic Research. No fluff, no guesswork, just the real numbers that tell you exactly where you stand. Let's start with income. The median gross earnings for full-time workers in Germany sit at around 44,074 euros per year, according to Destatis. Looking at broader data, the 2024 median lands at roughly 45,800 euros, while the average is noticeably higher at 52,300 euros a year. This is your most important anchor point. If you're earning somewhere around that range, you're sitting dead center. Nothing more, nothing less. But here's the trap. The average gets pulled up by high earners at the very top, which is why the median is a far more accurate picture of what a truly typical worker actually takes home. So, if you're earning 50,000 euros or 55,000 euros and feel like you're falling behind, you're not. You're in the upper half of the vast majority. Top 10%, the first threshold. According to analysis from the IW Cologne, a single person needs a net income of more than 3,700 euros per month, roughly 44,400 euros net per year, to break into the top 10% of earners in Germany. In gross terms, before tax, that works out to somewhere around 75,000 euros to 80,000 euros per year, depending on your situation. Looking at it another way, only 15.8% of taxpayers in Germany earn more than 70,000 euros gross per year. That tells you the top 10% threshold isn't the salary of a CEO or a football star. It's an experienced engineer, a GP, or a mid-level manager. Completely ordinary people in everyday life, but on paper, they're in genuinely rare territory. Top 5%. The gap starts to become visible. To crack the top 5%, you're stepping into the territory of senior professionals and business owners. At this level, you're likely a specialist doctor, a senior lawyer, or a high-level IT engineer based in Munich or Frankfurt. Only 11.5% of taxpayers in Germany earn more than 70,000 euros a year, and the gap from there up to the top 5% is even wider. Top 1%, the number that surprises most people. Germany's top 1% earn more than 250 euros, 1,000 gross per year, and only 0.1%, roughly 34,500 taxpayers in the entire country, earn more than 1 million euros annually. Germany's highest tax bracket, known as the Reichensteuer, or wealth tax, sits at 45% and kicks in on income above 277,826 euros per year. So if you've hit that threshold, you're not just top 1%. You're paying the highest rate in the entire German tax system. Worth noting, you don't need to own a corporation to get there. A specialist doctor married to a lawyer running their own firm, both entirely salaried professionals or freelancers, could comfortably reach a combined household income above 500,000 euros. But here's where it gets really interesting: net worth. Income is only half the picture. The other half, the part that actually defines wealth, is what you own. And this is where most Germans get the biggest shock. According to the Bundesbank, the threshold to enter the top 10% of households by wealth in Germany is 725,900 euros in net assets. That group holds around 56% of all net private wealth in the country. And the median? At around 61,000 euros, Germany's median household net worth is among the lowest in the entire Eurozone, below both Greece and Portugal. This sounds contradictory. Germany is the world's fourth largest economy, yet the average German holds less wealth than the average Spaniard or Italian. The reason is that Germany has one of the lowest home ownership rates in the developed world. Median wealth in Western Germany is €127,900, while in the East it's just €43,400. Renters simply don't build equity the way homeowners do. Top 1% by wealth, the staggering numbers. To enter the top 5% by wealth in Germany, you need more than €722,000 in net assets, and the wealthiest 1% own roughly one-third of all private wealth in the country. The top 10% own approximately two-thirds of Germany's total private wealth, around €12 trillion. The top 1% own a third of that, and the top 0.1% own up to a fifth. By Eurozone standards, this is one of the highest levels of wealth inequality on the continent. The global picture. Where do you actually stand? This is the part most people skip entirely. Germany holds 3.76% of all global private wealth, placing it at the very top of continental Europe, according to the UBS Global Wealth Report 2025. And when you zoom out to the world level, if you have a stable job, a decent salary, and you're paying into the Renten and Versicherung, you are almost certainly in the top 20% of wealth globally. Not because you're unusually lucky by German standards, but because most of the world's population doesn't have access to what you have. So why do Germans still feel like they're not rich? Because wealth is relative. If all your neighbors drive a new BMW, your old Volkswagen suddenly feels embarrassing. If your friends just bought a holiday home in Bavaria, your two-bedroom rental suddenly feels small. We compare ourselves to the people we see, not to the billions of people we don't. And that's the most important takeaway from all of this. Being rich isn't a destination, it's a moving target. If you find out you're in the top 10% by income, you don't suddenly feel wealthy. You immediately start looking at the top 5%. So, instead of chasing a label, define your own number. Know where you stand, build towards it, and measure your progress against your own life, not someone else's highlight reel. If you found this useful, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. See you in the next one.